as we look at the day that Skinner was arrested, well, Sheriff Helms did post something.
Really? Okay.
As a matter of fact, it was a letter to the citizens of Camden County. It was nothing to do with Darren Skinner. It was actually to do with the Camden County Commission, who recently passed a law banning license plate recognition systems for our county. You know, technology is currently being used by Sheriff Helms and the Camden County Sheriff's Department, and now it's going to have to be removed. James Gohagan, who is a commissioner with Camden County, he posted on December 13th in regards to this issue, these license plate detection devices. It's essentially artificial intelligence, right? It's a technology that the Sheriff's Department is claiming helps them do their job better. Well, Commissioner Gohagan, said that there's an underlying issue to static license plate readers. At the Missouri Association of Counties Conference, artificial intelligence was front and center. The software essentially offered AI as a way to replace staff on many different levels. I did not realize the technology was already available, but apparently it is and already in use in some municipalities. In short, the federal government is wanting access. To me, that's a major problem, as my trust in them is at an all-time low. And so Gohagan said that his major concern was, first, they want to replace a lot of staff members. He said, and essentially they don't have to do their job as hard. But third, he said, I feel like this is an infringement on the constitutional rights of our county. And so Sheriff Helms, he did not like that, right? So he chose December 18th, the same day that Darren Skinner, one of the black guys, many black guys on Sheriff Helms' watch as his time with Camden County, decides to address this license plate technology with a letter to the fellow citizens of Camden County, saying, I write to you today with a heavy heart and sense of deep concern. With the way that started, you would think that would have to do with Darren Skinner. We should all have a heavy heart and a sense of deep concern at this point in time. But instead, it's regarding the recent decision made by the Camden County Commission to pass what he quotes, ambiguous law banning license plate recognition systems for our county. He says it happens all over the place, and by the commissioner's intervention in law enforcement matters, I'm disheartened. Which is interesting, still no talk of Darren Skinner. And so he posts this letter publicly to the people of Camden County. And Chris, I reached out to him asking him to respond to this, and he wouldn't reply. And as much as I want to just lash into the guy, I'm going to let the people of Camden County do it, because they're speaking for everybody, and they're speaking loud and clear. So we get a look at some of the comments from Travis Morris. The commission did it correctly. Stacy Shore. Tony Helms has been known to abuse surveillance and use his department to spy on innocent civilians. You look at Jill Smith. Maybe if there wasn't child predators as deputies, we'd feel much safer. Jessica Stevens, Thomas Jameson, Dan Owsley. We the people prefer not to become a communist state. A.R. Quincy. Thank you, Camden County government. I mean, the comments go on, and it looks to me that the general consensus is they're happy that the executive branch of Camden County said, no, Sheriff Helms, you're not going to infringe on the on your constituents' rights. Yeah. And what a play for Sheriff Helms at this point in time to not get his way, to be held accountable by the executive branch, the Camden County Commission, and when he doesn't get his way to implement this technology, or keep it implemented, I should say, he writes a cry letter to his constituents and says, hey, please be vocal and tell them how you feel. And in response, the people are being very vocal, but it's not exactly probably what Sheriff Helms was hoping for.
Probably not. And, you know, it's interesting because we've got a big election coming up. Sheriff is included in that election. I don't think Tony Helms is running again. So there will be a new sheriff more than likely. But it's, you know, his time in office is not coming to a good close, it doesn't look like. And in the last elections, in the last couple of elections, I think the people of Camden County, they've made a lot of changes. And I think the changes are to try to clean up some of this good old boy network that's been going on for a long time in Camden County that hasn't necessarily been good or clean. You know, so I think maybe the changes are happening, but they're not pretty to watch.
But my question is, at this point in time, can Camden County wait? Because that election is not until next year, wouldn't take place until the end of 24, early 25. Can Camden County wait over another year with Sheriff Tony Helms in control of Camden County? That is my question, and I reached out to the commission office, and presiding commissioner Ike Skelton was willing to tell me this. He said, I'm going to quote Ben Franklin. The utmost responsibility of elected officials is to secure the liberties of their constituents: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Technology like APR infringes on those rights and is only going to get worse. I believe it is our responsibility to prevent that from happening. Law enforcement has done their job before and will be able to continue to do so. Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton. And so just a lot to really unpack here what's going on here at Camden County. But anyway you look at it, Chris, not a good look when you have the second deputy under Sheriff Helms. Just a heinous crime. You hate to see it, especially here in our own community. And like I said, the question that I'm left with is, can Camden County wait and have Sheriff Helms in charge of the county for another year plus?
I didn't know that was an option not to, but I don't know. Can the commissioner step in and fire Tony Helms? Is that possible?
It would come from the Attorney General and the Post Commission at the state level, which there would be, I'm sure, different steps and legalities that would have to take place. But I'm sure a petition could be started or a motion by the commissioners. But I was just asking the question, and I don't know if it is possible to have a sitting sheriff removed by anybody other than the state attorney general and the post commission, which gives everybody their license to be a police officer in the state of Missouri.
Yeah.